ready or not, here I come now. Let's play hide and seek. Prepare to be caught. Here I come now. Let's play hide and seek. Riding on the playground, no mountains to make a sound. Round and round and round and round, no one wants to be first found.
Well, hello everyone. Hello. I was going to bring you some more Jordan stuff. This one, he is going to educate us on the signs of a cult. And he claims he's been in a few, not too long ago. And it's kind of interesting what he's got to say. And like I said, the more I listen to him on his TikToks that I downloaded, the more I learn about what he's trying to say. In my opinion, in my brain, I feel like he is trying to. You have to read between the lines, and if you listen to him long enough, you'll start, or you might get it right off the bat. I don't know. I know it took me a little bit, but it's happening and it's there, and he's got something to tell us. So I hope you will listen. Thank you. Love you guys.
Hello. Well, I'm just going to go over the key signs of what to look for, and really what you're going to be up against when you're in a cult, of any kind. Well, I'm going to start listing the signs. The first sign of potentially talking to someone that might be in a cult is if they're coming off overly pushy about their sales pitch, or maybe they're like coming across unusually loving. And when I mean unusually loving, like they're acting all lovey-dovey when they don't really know you. That is a red flag. Another red flag is when someone comes up to you and they just start asking random questions. And the random questions usually have to do with like your personal life, like where you're from, where you work at, what do you want to do with your life? And not everybody answers those questions, which I would understand, but some people answer them because they do it in such a way, not everybody, but some of them do it in such a way where it's pretty sneaky, where they do it in such a conversational way that you wouldn't even think about it. They might ask you where you work at, where you're from, what's your plans for the future. If they really start asking you what your plans are for the future, walk away. That's a clear red flag. Or if it's a church where they're like, hey, have you heard about Jesus and you want to learn how to become one with God, be careful, because that potentially could be a cult, especially if it's coming from a Mormon or a missionary. Sorry, but that whole culture is a cult. So be careful. Another clear sign that you are that it's a cult is when, sorry, had a little too much caffeine earlier, is when you are around their friends and they look at you a certain way. Like they kind of like passive aggressively size you up. Be careful. Or they come off like overly welcoming. Like, how like when you go to like your friend's house, maybe their mom and dad might like greet you and like, casually welcome you. That's how it's supposed to be. But like a lot of these kinds of people tend to be overly welcoming. They overdo it. So if you kind of sense that they are coming off like really loving more than like anybody you usually meet on the street, walk away, run away, because they're wolf in sheep's clothing, because they really are trying to take you in their cult. So most likely, so run away.
They've had a lot of issues over the years with the members coming in to the university and just not letting up on the students when they're trying to tell them about, with the church and that kind of thing. And I guess it was quite a large problem there for a while. Well, now they've got members that are going to the university, literally to school. So it's getting a little bit harder to do that, to get away from them. But I think that's how they, inquire the members that they do, and how come they're growing so fast. Because it is, like he said, he's going to explain some more stuff to you, but it's easy to do, especially when kids are away from home. They don't have their parents, and it's all love, love, love,
Another sign that I can think of is really like when you start getting to know these people, they like if you start talking a certain way or you start saying certain things and they start questioning you, and they start like refuting what you're saying, that could be a cult too. Especially if like if you're gay, or you have a certain identity that they don't approve, or you have a certain belief that they think is wrong, they will be quick to like cut you off and like say, hey, like we don't believe that. If you want to be in this family or group, like you have to not talk like that. You can't believe that. You cannot be talking to your friends like that. Like you have to be an example or whatever. Like you got to think differently if you want to be a better person. And like the last sign I can think of is like once you're in it, like actually officially in a cult, is when they start like playing games with your emotions. And what do I mean by that? When like they do something wrong to you, like genuinely make you feel hurt, and you mention it to them and they like refute it, and they get political with you, and they ask you a question like, oh, well, do you remember when you did this? Like they do stuff like that, or they will start like using their group of people to keep an eye on you to make sure that you're behaving, or like you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. And
That sounds a little like this family keeping a darn good eye on Kaylee, making sure she's doing everything right. Remember, she did everything right that night, right? What did they mean by that? Really mean by that? Did they actually know this was going to go down, and she stuck with the plan? Everything, just the way it should go, and everything's going to be okay, and it didn't go okay? They did everything right that night.
And sometimes I swear for fun they play with your emotions for their own ego or like narcissism, just to like fuck with you. Some of these people are really nasty people. They will do that to you too. But genuinely, they're just trying to like, at the end of the day, change you, mold you into who they want you to be versus who you really are. So also, with that being said, I'm also going to kind of tell you the things that you're going to be up against when you're actually in it. You're going to be challenged with your day-to-day life on what you used to do. You're going to be told what to do, how to live, how much time you got to spend with your family, how much time you get to spend with your friends, how much time you have to dedicate to this cult. And a lot of times they're going to tell you that most of your time is going to have to be with them, and that everything else is secondary or third or whatever.
Kaylee's things I value list. First, my goals. The most important thing for me to realize is that I am setting these goals as a life choice. I can't freaking read this, it's too small. Darn it. Well, basically what I want to show you, this is all about the God thing right here. Look at number, it's all, just read it. Slow it down, stop it, read it, get the gist of it. This is the most important thing right here. And I hadn't seen this in her throughout their TikToks or any of that stuff. Maybe they were really into it. I don't know. This just seems so abrupt at this time for her to do it this much. Like, it's like everything is surrounded by it or around that. Like, that's a must do, and nothing else gets done until that gets done. And it's all the time. It's continuous throughout the day. I'm a spiritual person. I am not a religious person. And that just seems, the way she wrote it down, it would just seem so, it was like she was pleading for her life. That's how it made me feel. And I'm not against people going to church or anything like that. Whatever floats your boat, whatever makes you feel better. This felt forceful to me. That's all I'm saying. So please don't come after me. Please don't start quoting Bible quotes up in there and trying to save me, because just don't, please. I'm good, seriously. But I appreciate it. God bless us all good. That's good. But not a whole freaking paragraph of Bible quotes. Thank you.
And they do it in such a way where it's very convincing. They always have kind of this mission statement or this this sales pitch. It's really what it is that they kind of throw out there, that they indoctrinate you with. And they do it very cleverly. They're very smart about it. They do it in such a way where you wouldn't usually pick up on it. Most people wouldn't. Like myself, I didn't, So they'll do that. And they really... they are really big about participation. Like, they want you to literally participate in everything. Either most of everything or pretty much everything. Like, they might be flexible on some things, but they literally want you to make the church or maybe a business literally your life. If it's not your life, then you are pretty much being a disgrace. You are hurting your team members. You're hurting the church. Whatever, you might be hurting a talent agency, for all I know. I don't know, but you're hurting the crew, and they'll make you feel bad. They'll find a way to make you feel like you failed, and then they'll love bomb you. They'll most likely, in some scenarios, love bomb you, to make you think that they care about you. And it's just so manipulative. It's so disgusting. And that's what these people do. And I also will say, when you leave, don't expect these people to reach out to you, and don't expect these people to ever talk to you ever again. And they're most likely going to end up talking bad about you. They also might be gossiping about you on how you failed. And, especially in the sense of Amway, they might be throwing the rhetoric around on stage when they do become diamond, that the people who left are the ones who are the quitters and are the ones in the wrong. And it's disgusting they do that, but they do that. I can't speak for the Illuminati, for all I know. I can't speak for the most extreme cases that you hear about, but for me personally, that's what I've observed. So be careful, be smart. Don't be afraid to defend yourself. Don't be afraid to be an ass to these people, because I'm sorry, they deserve it. Because some of them genuinely have no interest in you and don't care about you, and they just want you to do what they want you to do. So sorry, I am having a hard time talking. It's just the caffeine. So anyways, love you. Bye. Stay safe.